Indian Road was once a thriving residential street. For years, Ambassador Bridge owner Matty Maroon has been buying up properties in both the cities of Detroit and Windsor, with the prospect of attaining the city's permission to demolish these houses and use the area for his twin span. Many of the homes in Detroit were torn down, but in this neighborhood they stand vacant, abandoned, decaying. Failure to keep up with any of these homes has created a run-down and destroyed community affecting local residents and homeowners surrounding Indian Road.
My name is Mary Ann Cutterman. I'm an entrepreneur, owner of a bakery shop within my own home. And I've lived in this house since 2001. But I've watched the destruction of that area since 2004, when the bridge company itself instituted a process called blockbusting, where you buy one house, let it run down, and then the people around it decide they want to sell because their property values are going down. So he was able to scoop up a lot of houses there at bargain basement prices, and they have done nothing but lie and cheat and everything that they have done, and they're still in the process. If you follow the papers today, you know exactly what they're doing again today. They will never admit that they want all that property to build a 67-acre plaza that they need at the foot of their bridge, and to build another bridge beside this bridge.
How do you feel about those houses a few blocks away from you essentially turning into a slum?
It's too sad. I went to school in this area. In fact, I went to school just 2 blocks over, and a lot of my classmates were from that area. That was beautiful homes, gorgeous brick homes. High-profile people lived there: fire chiefs, mayors, lawyers, doctors. Those houses were beautiful. Professors from the university. And it's a shame to see that happening and to being destroyed, a whole neighborhood and possibly a whole community because of one man's greed.
The Ambassador Bridge twin span versus the new international trade crossing. It's been years of ongoing battles between these two proposals. Spearheading the proposition for the construction of a second span of the Ambassador Bridge is billionaire Matty Maroon. The CEO has spoken out numerous times against the NITC's bridge proposal in an effort to keep profit and his pockets lined. But his own plan has continuously been turned down by governments on both sides of the border, who remain loyal to the downriver construction instead. But what lies amidst this highly profiled battle of the bridges?
So the claim that the Indian Road residents, or rather the neighbors of the Indian Road properties, are bringing against the bridge company is one in nuisance. The idea is that because the bridge company has owned those properties, which are now sitting derelict since at least the early 2000s, and in some cases earlier, since they've owned them and are not keeping them up, the claim in nuisance is that there has been a substantial interference with the property rights of those neighboring properties, or those people who own neighboring properties, and so the claim in nuisance would be that in the failure to keep up the properties, it has allowed. I mean, it allows the neighborhood to degenerate. It allows things like vermin and other wild animals to set in. It invites crime, and so in doing so, that has violated the rights of the property owners nearby.
But over the years, it has changed drastically since this has happened, since he has started his blockbusting, and over 130 houses now that he's got boarded up, and went so far as taking floors out of them and everything, so that if a fire ever happens, the fire department cannot enter any of those houses, unsafe to go into. He's made sure that nobody will ever be able to save those houses as far as he's concerned. Since then, we've lost a grade school. We've lost our post office, we've lost our bank. People have moved out. There's 130 could-be family homes. So it affects the community as a whole.
Unfortunately, when I first came, I'm from out of town, so when I first came to the school, we parked under the bridge. And there was a question of, what are these houses? Why are they all boarded up? Am I living in, honestly, a well-poverty neighborhood? It's honestly a blemish on the school. Unfortunately, because the bridge is right there, we have to see these houses constantly. A lot of people that I bring up who aren't from Windsor originally already have that common misconception that Windsor is a poverty city, and seeing these houses kind of just reinforces that a little bit, I think. There's a large security presence here. Most of the houses have the Paladin security sign, and there's been a couple times where even you step on the lawn and with about 5 minutes there's security there. So I don't know how it's monitored, whether it's just on constant security surveillance or what, but there is a very large enforcement presence around this neighborhood.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Yeah? What's going on?
Well, that's bridge property. It's private property.
Okay.
Don't want anybody on there that's not authorized.
Alright, we won't go on anymore.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
You can take it from the sidewalk, but
Okay.
don't go on the property.
So as far as where this will all end up legally, several high-profile lawyers in Windsor have suggested that these most recent applications by the bridge company have, including challenging the jurisdiction of the city to place what they've done, which is to place maintenance orders on the properties that they own. Several high-profile lawyers have suggested that those are in fact sort of the last efforts of a dying company, that they see the writing on the wall. The new span is to be built, and the province and the Michigan State Legislature and the federal government have taken the steps necessary over the last almost decade now to acquire the properties needed to build the Herb Gray Parkway. Although the bridge itself, the second bridge, is not built yet, it's clear that that's coming, and so some would portray this as simply the last steps of a desperate man and a desperate company to hold on to his empire.
Indian Road is found in the midst of a legal battlefield, and the conditions of the houses on this road are only getting worse. Indian Road has become forgotten throughout the years, overshadowed by the controversy that has surrounded the proposed bridge. As for the future of these houses and neighboring community, only time will determine the fate of Indian Road.